everybody. Welcome to the Your Life After Tech live stream. I try to do this every Wednesday. I'm Debbie Lovett, and I'm here to be your mentor and coach and advisor. This is all about answering your questions, giving some free help, giving some opinions. So if you have a question you'd like to ask, you can put it in the live chat. It will pop up on the screen with whatever is your name or your YouTube or Twitch name, but if you're on LinkedIn, your real name, possibly. If you'd like to ask a longer question or an anonymous question, just use the link over my head, lat.link/Q. Will send you to a simple online form that will send a question to my email, and I don't know who you are, and then you can ask whatever you like. So let's open up my file to see if we got any questions ahead of time this time. Yes, we got one question ahead of time, so that one will go first. And if you'd like to send in a question or put something in the chat, you're next. Let's put this up on the screen. Oh, it's a little long. Let's take a look. All right, this is an audience participation question. The person asking says people can answer it other than me. So, it's a little long. Here we go. I think we got everything in there now. All right, let me read this out loud since it's not the easiest to see. Which fictional or non-fictional characters who have gone through major life transformations do you personally draw strength from? For those in the chat, the same question applies to you if you're reading this aloud. I'm reading it aloud, so audience participation. I'm looking for inspirational examples of people who have gone against the system, as in challenging the status quo by living by example. That last part is critical. I am looking for examples of people who have lived their message, not only advocated for change. What a fantastic and thoughtful question. Thank you so much for sending it in a few days ago. This is a tough one for me. Certainly for the fictional side, I don't read a lot of books, and so I'm not going to be good at made up characters. And then we have the part where it says it has to be someone who didn't just advocate for something but lived it. I would hope I'm doing that, so I want to say me, but then it seems a little silly to say me. I'm not sure. Anybody watching live have a thought or idea of a fictional or non-fictional character who you draw strength from? Excuse me. Yeah, I think, and this could just be me, but I tend to try to want to draw strength from inside of myself rather than looking outside myself for figures to inspire or admire. It's not that that's a bad or wrong thing to do, but I feel like the best strength and the strength that's going to endure is the strength that comes from within me. So I just tend to be someone who's not looking outside of myself for that type of strength or inspiration. But hey, if you're watching live, tell us about you. I see a few people live on LinkedIn. So what do you think? Any of you drawing strength or inspiration from real or fictional characters? It's such a good question, and yet I don't have a good answer, so I apologize. But all questions are welcome here. Maybe you have a question about life after tech or life during tech or what's going on with tech jobs. All of these questions are welcome. This is an Ask Me Anything type of broadcast, so you can ask any question you like. And you can also use lat.link/Q to ask a question anonymously or a longer question. But I guess I'll leave this one up on the screen in case anybody's thinking about it or has any ideas. Who is living by example? That's a hard one. Definitely having a surprisingly hard time with that. While I think about that, I'm going to turn on some more of my lights. Give me one moment. Okay, we've got Ana Lucia joining us. I don't use fictional or non-fictional examples to draw strength from, but Mulan. Yeah, I think some of the characters from movies could be possible fictional, I guess in this case. Yeah, I don't know. I still think it's a good question, and I'm sorry I don't have a better answer, but Jack Ma. Jack Ma from... Wait, really? Really? Why? Arnell, why? I'm kind of surprised at that one. Not judging, just surprised. Tell me more, Arnell. Why Jack Ma? Tell me about how Jack Ma is living by example. Because Jack Ma is what? CEO of Alibaba? Is that? Let me Google. I want to Google. I'm going to ask Google, how does Jack Ma live by example? Just to see if Google can find me something. Let's see. Jack Ma's entrepreneurial intuition. Jack Ma is a big picture entrepreneur. Jack Ma is an example of success through failure because he failed primary and middle school. Okay, that's a long time ago. Jack Ma's a beacon of inspiration. It's funny, if you Google this, you get all this stuff, and it sounds good, but I wonder if we dig deeper, are we still going to be happy with what we find? These are my questions. Let's see. Arnell hasn't added more to it, so we don't know. Maybe typing. But yeah, these are the questions. Yeah, so I think that some people are inspired by celebrities or famous business people, but I think it's still hard to find them living by example, or possibly living by a positive example. Because, for example, say you wanted to pick a celebrity / famous business person. Is Elon Musk living by example? And if so, what is he an example of? These are the questions. And I think people have different opinions of someone like him, a fairly divisive character. So yeah, I don't know. I don't often feel... I guess I have to draw strength from within. I guess that's who I've been. I think we say intrinsically motivated. So, yeah, but let's see if we can get more comments from people watching. Hello to some people watching on LinkedIn. This is Ask Me Anything, as we do on Wednesdays. So if you have any questions, especially related to life after tech, or what you're going to do if you can't find your next job, or career changes, those are some of our topics. Roa says, I'm glad you always have the phoenix figure. I'm inspired by it. It rises from ashes. It's like nothing. Since I was 12, I like this imagery creature. Yes, thank you, Roa. I like it too. That's what I asked the book artist for, so I definitely had that in mind. And Arnell has a comment. It should come up on the screen soon. It says, it's complicated, and I just learned about him. So we're talking about Jack Ma. He leads a tech company but has not coded a single line of code. He has no technical or business training. He says machine can't replace people because of the love quotient. Well, let's hold him to that in a world of layoffs. I find that pretty radical, says Arnell, a person who went through a lot of failure and just discriminated against due to his appearance. Okay, so maybe Jack Ma is someone to watch and see if we can feel inspired by him. And after we read what Ana Lucia says, I'm going to throw a curveball at everybody. I do think some people are inspirational. For example, I like Beatriz Angelo, which I'm probably not pronouncing well. She was the first Portuguese woman to be a surgeon and to vote. She fought for women's rights in my country. Yeah, these are great examples. I think that's what the person is asking for. Someone who didn't just try to change the system or was an inspirational figure, but really lived by example. So I think Ana Lucia is onto something. And it's not that I'm disagreeing with Arnell. I only have the basic knowledge of Jack Ma, so I just don't know. Now, here's the curveball. Very often I see people say, oh, that person is so inspiring. Oh, this character is so inspiring. Oh, I'm so inspired. And then I love to say, great, you felt inspired. What did you do? Cricket, silence. That's where it falls apart. So a lot of people love to say, oh, I'm so inspired by this, or oh, look at this video of the dog that jumped on the thing finally. Oh, I'm so inspired. To do what? What did you do? What did you change? What action did you take? So to me, I don't like to use the term inspired or inspiration loosely. I think you're not really inspired if you don't do something. Now, again, maybe that's just my bias. Thanks, Roa. I hope to ask powerful questions, especially since I'm getting into life coaching. Check it out at deltacx.coach. It's a Google Doc until it'll be a website. But yeah, that is my question, is if we are so inspired. Oh, Yesterday in Gaming says I ask this. I also strive to gain strength. Sorry, the question will come up on the screen in a moment. I also strive to gain strength internally, but I also tried to build a vision of what I want to be based on the example of others. It's like trying to Frankenstein an idol. Yeah, and if I were your life coach, I would challenge you to build a vision of yourself without framing yourself in the shadow of others. How can we frame you and define you and your future self without pieces of someone else? So again, I don't think there's anything wrong against inspiration or looking at others, but I still think it's the most powerful when you define you with you. Does that make sense? Ana Lucia says she changed the system by interpreting the law literally. To vote, it said any Portuguese citizen over the age of 21 that knows how to read and is the head of the family. She had the criteria. Really cool story. Thanks. I wouldn't have known about that. So thank you for that. Yeah, let's keep the conversation going. So again, you are welcome to ask any questions you have. This is the Your Life After Tech Ask Me Anything hour that I do every Wednesday. You can ask your question in the chat, which comes up on the screen, or you can ask it more anonymously at lat.link/Q for question, and that will come into my email, but I don't see an email coming in yet. So, send them in if you have one, or just put it in the chat. That includes y'all on Twitch. Yesterday in Gaming says, makes sense and agreed. Yeah, that it's looking at others could be a place to start. Oh, I love the way this person really chased their dream. Oh, I love the way this person fought in the face of adversity. Oh, I love the way this person did this thing that they did. Okay, now what about you? What are you facing? What's your next step? Oh gosh, now I feel like it's a giant ad for my life coaching. But these are the kinds of questions and powerful questions that I think certainly a good coach would ask, rather than choosing for you or defining you for you or saying, well, now that I'm getting to know you, I think you're this. Like people are asking ChatGPT to define them. Yeah, it's going to say nice things mostly. So yeah, that would be my challenge. Is you can certainly be inspired by others and look to others and their achievements, but then how can you be the best you? What does the best you look like? What do you love about yourself? That's something we ask in my book, and even the editors had some trouble with that. When they looked at it, they were like, oh, that's not a very comfortable question for me to ask. But I think it's an important one for us to consider. What do we like about ourselves? What do we love about ourselves? And how do we invite people into our lives who also like and love those things, and therefore support us and raise us up. Roa says, I am a story in the writing mode. Yeah, exactly. I say that in my Life After Tech book. You are the phoenix and you get to write your own story, whatever that is. Arnell says, I was inspired by someone I know. She was able to shift her internal monologues, taking personal development. After that, I spent 6 years in therapy and personal development to get rid of my social anxiety and made a similar transformation. Fantastic. Again, that's a great example of seeing someone else make a change and saying, you know what? It might not be easy. It might take time. It might be a financial investment because therapy is not free and often not cheap. But I'm going to do it, and I'm going to do it until I do it. And so, Arnell, so fantastic. I totally want to acknowledge you for doing that work. You know, for the self-awareness to see that you might need the work or benefit from the work, and you know, the ability to pursue the work, do the work, stick with the work. I think today's winner for inspiring is Arnell. Now we can do it. Again, if you are inspired by someone, take the action. Ana Lucia says, this is cheesy, but my mom is an inspiration. She raised 2 kids after my dad, in air quotes, walked away. He never looked back, and she faced her fears, driving just to let us have every opportunity. Yep. Roa says, wow, your book seems aligned with my thoughts. I'll definitely read it. Well, thank you. You can find it on Amazon. If you're having trouble finding it on Amazon, hit that QR code above me, which will take you to lifeaftertech.info. Thank you, Milky Drops, for the subscription. I guess Milky Drops in stealth mode, lurking. But always happy to see the Milky Drops in the realm. But yeah, interesting talk today about inspiration and action. That's the way I see it. I've read a few biographies of some of my favorite musicians and people I've admired, and I'm trying to think, I enjoyed those books, but like I didn't go out and do something or change something after that. And it's not that the book had to transform me. Not every book or article is going to be transformative, and that's okay. But if we're looking for transformation, where do we start? So many cool questions today. Yesterday in Gaming says, trying to capture inspiration is like trying to catch lightning in a bottle. When it strikes, try to quickly convert it into actions and develop a discipline. Yes, I like that a lot. Definitely. Once you hit that aha moment, like maybe Arnell did, like, you know what? This person made a change. Maybe I can too. Maybe Arnell believed in himself 1,000% and maybe believed in himself 1% and said, you know what? I'm going to try it anyway. And it's really about having that aha light bulb moment and then taking that action. And that's what I think it's about. And that's what we're learning in the coaching school that I'm in now, which is why I'm looking for new clients to be part of my life and personal and motivational and work type of coaching stuff, because I've got to get a lot of hours for certification. So again, deltacx.coach if you are interested. First one's free, and after that I have heavily discounted them. Yesterday in Gaming, yes, thank you. So yeah, this is Ask Me Anything, though I love that we're turning it into a conversation. You can certainly send whatever you're thinking of or question you have to lat.link/q, or you can put it in the chat. Holy cats, I won't say who. I am getting a coaching booking. Thank you so much. Oh, you've picked the other coaching. Okay. you're working on publishing something. Great. Yeah, that's the other coaching. So that's not going to be the life coaching. That's going to be more of my writing and book and career, the other type of coaching. So I'm in two coaching worlds at the same time. One is more advising, where I'm going to try to help you based on my experiences or my thoughts for you, and try to help you learn things I know. And then the other coaching, the Delta CX coach, the ICF style coaching, is more the motivation, communication, relationships, life coaching, that type of stuff. Hello, Monica. If you're US based, don't forget to ask your local library to purchase a copy. Monica is correct. I do have it set up where libraries and bookstores can buy Life After Tech. They will find it in the Ingram Spark database. I only have the paperback available to libraries and bookstores. This is my hardcover, but they can absolutely get the paperback. And again, that's libraries, bookstores, schools, universities. Many of them order from a distributor called Ingram Spark. They usually don't order from Amazon. So if you want to go to a bookstore or library anywhere in the world, you can actually ask them for My Life After Tech and Customers Know You Suck. Those are both available, and I offer a huge discount to libraries and bookstores. Libraries deserve the discount, and bookstores want the discount so that they can sell it and make a profit, and that's okay too. Oh, no, you did book ICF. Oh, no, somebody booked something. I'm going to have to figure this out later, but thank you to the person who booked with me for tomorrow, 2 p.m. Oh, 2 p.m. New York time. I was going to say, oh my God, I'm not free at 2 p.m. But then I just realized different time zone, 7 p.m. for me, because we just changed our clocks. I know you will too. Oh, you did pick ICF coaching. Okay, we'll have to see if ICF coaching is right for you, new person who booked, or if it's the other stuff, or if I'm going to have to wear a little bit of both hats. But yeah, either way, let's check it out. So again, the first one is free. After that, I do charge. So we'll see if we're a match, and we'll see if there's something that I can do for you on. Nope, looks like LinkedIn ended the stream. That's too bad. What about YouTube? Am I still live there? That's quite a blip. Let's see. Oh, good. Looks like I'm still live on YouTube. Is anybody out there? Sorry for the internet blip. Another good reason to subscribe on YouTube, because they are less likely to end my stream. Let's is it replaying or is it back? No, LinkedIn is replaying. All right, so sorry, and Twitch seems to have restarted. Oh, this is messy. I'm so sorry, everybody. Hopefully people can see me. It's quite a blip. That's weird. YouTube seems to have survived. Let's see. Milky Drop says you're back. Yes. Thanos snapped and I am back. Sorry about that. We usually have really great internet, and sometimes there's just a blip and there isn't much I can do about it. Live show. YouTube is fine. Okay, good. Yeah, it looked like YouTube didn't drop it, but it looks like both Twitch and LinkedIn dropped. LinkedIn, I don't think restarted, but Twitch restarted. Anyway, I was just saying, feel free to ask a question or bring up a fresh topic. I am here to talk about what's on your mind. And, oh, looks like LinkedIn restarted. Sorry about that. Yeah, so if you are watching on LinkedIn, always best to subscribe on YouTube. It just seems to do much better and not die. But thank you for the people coming back to join. So what's on people's minds? I was just saying, did anybody catch me? I don't know where I blipped, but Miro, M-I-R-O, laid off today 18% of their workers, 275 people, and a lot of people are having a very strong negative reaction to this, and I think rightfully so, because Miro spent like a year releasing a huge amount of new features, a redesign, all kinds of AI capabilities. They just had their big event a few weeks ago where they were announcing more stuff. They had a bunch of events over the summer a few months ago announcing all of these new things. And now that they've announced it, we don't need you anymore. They laid off almost 300 people. And from what I read, they laid off people from every part of Miro, including people who were part of the strategic vision for the thing they just announced. Ooh, we have an anonymous question. Hooray. Let's see. Let me take a look. Oh. Okay, this may or may not fit the Life After Tech stream, but let's answer it anyway, because you're asking, and that's what we do here. Yesterday in Gaming says, wow, terrible. They stole the vision and ran with it. Well, yes and no. I mean, if you work there and you create the strategy and vision and you got paid for it, did they steal it? Not necessarily, but it definitely doesn't feel good that they needed those people so badly to do all this work and meet all these deadlines, and then suddenly we don't need you. Bye. No warning. Bye. So I'm not happy with these types of things, but what can I say? I'm picky. Okay, so we got an anonymous question on a live stream about possibly not working in tech anymore. And the question is, I'm a trainee UXUI developer. Some advice for putting myself in the market. Might not be the best stream for that answer because Milky Drop says Dropbox is laying off a ton of people. Yes, you are right about that. So do I have advice for trying to get a job in UX, UI, or development? No, I don't have good advice. That 20%. I don't have good advice on that right now because we are seeing a decrease in available tech jobs. Where we are seeing tech jobs, we're seeing a decrease in the pay. We're seeing all kinds of layoffs like we're talking about right now. So how do you put yourself in the market when there are fewer jobs than ever and more people fighting over the jobs that exist? I don't have a good news for you. It depends on where you are. If you're in a part of the world where a UX UI developer, which I assume is a front-end developer, is still relatively rare and in demand, then you might have a good shot at getting a job. But I think for a lot of places, this is an area that is not seeing a huge amount of growth. And from what I understand, front-end development seems to be one of the first areas of coding that I think AI is going after. So these are the things that I'm worried about and why I wrote and published a book about what kinds of work might we do if we can't get our first or our next tech job. If you are a trainee, and I believe you, what does your school say? If you are going to a school, will your school help you get a job? Many years ago, we had a lot of these conversations, even when the market was better, and I said I didn't think there was a great reason to go to any school or boot camp if they really didn't have a good direct path to getting you some sort of job or internship. If they're not going to help you with that, then I worry about the value of some of these schools. So I think if you are teaching yourself, then you don't have someone you can go to and say, what do I do or how do I market myself? But I think that you would just have to look for jobs that you qualify for. And you can even do that now. You can go to a LinkedIn or an Indeed or any of these other websites and you can see what kinds of companies have open jobs for front-end developers or UXUI developers or UI developers or UI engineers or whatever they're calling them this week, and go ahead and search for multiple titles. How many jobs are looking for people with no experience or 6 months of experience or whatever amount of experience you have? It might be a tough exercise for you to do. You might find some jobs looking for that. You might find a lot of jobs looking for that. You might find no jobs looking for that. I don't know. Dev is not my area of expertise, but these are the things that concern me. And that's why I'm trying to get people to plan as early as possible and plan work that is non-tech, because we may or may not be able to find that next tech job. And if we find that next tech job, we could be laid off. Ana Lucia says, I've been watching the Portuguese dev community, and newbies are having a really hard time in the job market. They don't have experience, so they have nothing going for them. Right, and from our perspective, they don't have nothing going for them. They could be nice people with good personalities, with some talent, with some skill, with a little experience. It's not that these people have nothing, but we recognize that from the perspective of the company that's looking for the workers, many of the job descriptions that are out there are typically looking for at least a few years of experience. And then that leads some people to say, well, why don't I just become a freelancer? Why don't I just freelance my way into a job? And my thought is, you can, if you can get that work, because the problem is, who wants the freelancer who has minimal experience? And based on your experience, would it make more sense for you to be in an environment where you're getting support, where your work can be reviewed, rather than being dropped into a freelance job where people expect you to hit the ground running and know exactly what to do? So those are some of my concerns about entering into the job market, or even trying to enter as a freelancer or something like that. I'm not against people doing these things or trying these things. You just have to think about all the possibilities and all the things that are going on in the world. Ana Lucia says, it doesn't even matter if they're great or not. They don't have experience, so they're immediately dismissed. They aren't even getting interviews. Yeah, in many cases, this is true. I can't say it's always happening or it's only happening, but in many cases, people without experience are not getting interviews because companies don't want to give a newbie a chance. If they're going to hire someone, they want the person who's already done this. And very often, if there is an interview, it's to show that you've already done this. There are jobs that I am absolutely qualified for that I probably would have gotten a few years ago that now I'm rejected for, because they'll say to me, well, you haven't done this exact thing at a company this size, at our stage of growth, in our part of the world, with the size of team we have, with our current strategies. And it's like, no, but I've done it at a company larger than you. I've done it at a company smaller than you. I've done it at a company in a similar industry, different industry. In the old days, they used to give us a chance. They used to say, oh, wow, Debbie has all of these years of skill and experience and expertise and abilities, and wow, great reputation. But okay, she hasn't worked in our industry before, but you know, let's throw her in there and give her a chance. And now we're at the point where that rarely happens. And I even think about some of the CEOs that have YouTube. Have you given up on me? No, it says I'm live. Oop, okay. Oh, thanks YouTubers for sticking with me. Had another internet blip. Yeah, YouTube is back and LinkedIn died again. So LinkedIners, come on over here. Twitch peeps, maybe come over here too. So Ana Lucia was saying, I don't get why training now is seen as something to avoid like the plague. No one is born knowing everything. Only because it just seems increasingly clear that many companies just don't want to invest in their workers. Because why? Why bother investing in people who you might lay off next month? And so I don't agree with that. I don't like that, but A lot of companies have cut training budgets, they've cut development, and in that sense, they don't want people who haven't already done this, but that closes the door to anybody who's trying to start in this industry or an industry, or might be transitioning into the industry. And it's a conversation I've had with even people I like a lot. Some people I like a lot have said, Deb, you'd make a really good product manager. Why aren't you applying to product management jobs? You should totally get a product management job. And I said, why would any company hire me to do product management when there's a zillion product management people out there who've been laid off, who will do much better in an interview than I will? Sure, I have a lot of those skills. Sure, I've done those types of things at different companies, but I can never say that I've done a product management job for longer than 6 months. I only had a product management job years ago for 6 months. So I can't say, oh, I shipped a product 0 to 1, which is what a lot of the job descriptions say. I can't say I've done that. People say, Deb, there's so many things you've done that totally match service design. Why don't you get a service design job? Because if an interview asks for, show us a 0 to 1 traditional service design project, end to end, done as a service design project, I don't have that. I've just done all the pieces of service design. So it's a world right now where a lot of people are not getting chances that we used to get. And not everybody wants to be a PM. Ana Lucia says she doesn't. Yeah, I would, I'd be open to it, but I'm unlikely to get the job, and that's okay. I mean, not everybody qualifies for every job. Not everybody should get every job. So, just explaining to the free Discord community why would they keep getting Deb's Live on Twitch notifications. Sorry for the blips. I promise to reboot the internet, but after we're done. So these are all great topics and worth talking about. And I think we do have to have some tough conversations about what if we can't transition. And we talk about that in this book as well, because there's a chapter, emojis up. Who's read it, even some of the book? Emojis up. There's a part where I talk about how I fed some of my skills and resume and stuff into some AI systems and tried to ask it what jobs I could transition into. And the advice ranged from weird to completely outdated, because the bottom line was, my favorite was it Google's career dreamer said that I could be a water resource specialist. Now, maybe I could be a water resource specialist. Maybe that would fit me very well. Oh, thank you, emojis up for Milky Drops. But how do I get there? What does it cost? And is that open to newbies? Is there a great demand for water resource specialists where newbies are welcomed? Or if I go and start researching job descriptions, am I going to find that every company or municipality or whoever looking for a water resource specialist is looking for 3 years of experience, proven track record? So that's where I felt that some of this advice that you can just transition into this other thing is outdated. It used to work, and I think it doesn't work as much anymore. Will it still work? Sometimes, but not as much as it used to. And Ana Lucia says, nothing against product management. I just don't have the profile to do that kind of work, and I'm tired of pretending or using a persona. It's time to be true to myself. Yes, this is going to be the life coaching hour, by accident or on purpose. So yes, the True to Yourself Club, for sure. The Self-Awareness Club, emojis up. Whether people ask this question on my Tuesday show where we talk about CX and UX work and product strategy and business strategy, or you ask it on my Wednesday show, which is life after tech and what kind of work are we going to do if things don't turn around. That's my answer, is that I don't think we can put all of our eggs in the basket of being able to transition in. It's tough. I mean, even I'm upskilling right now to become a certified coach. I can coach without a certification. I don't have to go to school. Coaching isn't regulated in America, at least where I'm from. And I can call myself a coach and nobody kind of cares. But now that I'm looking at the ICF definition of coaching and their credentialing process, it's very different from what I've been doing, which is why I'm trying to split them. And I'm paying money to go back to school to learn these techniques, this approach, which is different from what I've been doing. I hope it'll pay off, but I don't know. And that's just, that's a math puzzle. Will this coaching help me even if I can't turn it into a career? Probably. Will it be worth what I paid even if I can't turn it into a career? Maybe. But I'm hoping that I can be the phoenix, and if I can't get continued CX or UX or tech-related work, that I can be reborn in something else like life and personal coaching. That's what I'm trying to do. You might be trying something else. We've got some people in the community that are going into like garden planning or something like that. That sounded really interesting. Today we had someone at our house who was operating this wacky little digging machine because we needed some stuff dug and moved around. And they got 50 euros an hour. And that's more than the last UX job I interviewed for was going to offer me. And I'm like, oh my God, like, why don't I just buy a digging machine and, get some training and go out and do digging? It looked fun. Ana Lucia, do you know what's in super high demand, at least in Portugal? I definitely don't know what's in demand in Portugal because I don't speak Portuguese, so I probably can't do too much work there. Oh yeah, trades. It's incredible. Electricians, plumbers, and all that. That is true in many places. I remember last year I was driving down the highway in Arizona and there were billboards, big ads on the highway. And one of them was like, we need electricians. And the starting salary seemed high. It was like 70 or 80,000 American dollars per year. And it was like, come be an electrician. We're looking for electricians. And I was just like, wow. So I agree. I think that trades are a great choice. Now, some people say, well, that's not my passion. Digging with a digger is not my passion. And being a plumber is not my passion. And I say, as my book says, you don't have to work in what your passion is. You just don't. My biggest passion in life is singing. Guess what? I've got a bug flying around me. I'm not going to become a professional singer. I'm just not. None of you are going to pay to hear me sing. So I can't follow my number one passion in life, but I can have it as a hobby. I can do it on the side. I could do it for fun. Maybe I can make a little money doing it, but it's not going to be my full-time gig. So not everything that is your passion is going to end up being your job. And maybe it's okay to do the things that sometimes we don't think of, like trades or cleaning houses or whatever it might be. Yesterday in Gaming says the hardest part is to give yourself permission to dream. I think it might be habit that you have to work on like anything else. What do you think? I think dreaming in both directions. I think both the big dream of what if I could work in an area that's my passion, as well as the other dream of what if I just worked in something that's stable, that pays well, but maybe it's not my passion. I think it's okay to dream in both directions, to dream towards the big passion and to dream towards the stable pay that is more likely to be economy proof. Ana Lucia says, it's funny you say that. Singing is what I do when I need an immediate pick-me-up. Yeah, I even mentioned in my book that my mood is not as good when I haven't been singing lately, and I have not been singing lately. So, bad me, fly swatter on head. Bad me, I definitely have to get back to singing. But I know part of the reason I pressed pause on singing was about a month ago we had COVID and we were just coughing so much and it was so hard to sing. But I'm all better now. I've been better for a couple of weeks. I have no excuse, and I've got to get back to the singing. Yeah, great point. Allowing yourself to dream in a practical manner. Exactly. You know, there's so many career coaches and books and things out there who say, oh, follow your passion. Or hold on, I've got graphics ready, kids. Hey, follow your ikigai. No. In my book, I burn this fake ikigai to the ground because this basically says that your life purpose is a job that is your passion, that is your mission, that is something that's going to change the world. And guess what? It doesn't have to be. It just doesn't. It just doesn't. And that's okay. Maybe your job is something that pays and pays decently and is stable or is in demand. And your passions are in your hobbies or side hustles or something else. Milky Drops, who is only the sweetest person, says, Debbie's book gave me a structured and grounded way to dream and imagine possibilities, though I don't mean to sound like an infomercial. I'm still working through some parts of it. Yeah, Milky Drops, I hope that you are getting through it, and I hope to be talking to you soon, either for our regular coaching or maybe use some of that money for the life coaching side of things that I'm practicing. Admittedly practicing. I am only in I'm in week 3 of a 6-month school. But they're encouraging us to get out there and practice. So practice. But yeah, Milky Drops does sound like an infomercial, but Milky Drops has not been paid. Thank you very much. But that's what I'm hoping to do with my book. My book is there to make you feel less alone, to make you feel like it's not just you, and then to try to help you plan what else could there be in addition to tech, instead of tech, if tech doesn't work out. To me, it's all about smart planning. Because if you were one of those people from Miro or Dropbox, you know, and I think unfortunately some of you do know all too well, when you get laid off, sure, it's devastating, it hurts emotionally, it hurts financially, it's confusing, it's angering, and you've got to take time to process that and build yourself back up. Build up your relation to self, build up your sense of personal power. But then what? And so some people have said to me, well, I don't want to read your book until I'm laid off. Okay, but then you might not be ready for the thing that is happening to you. You know, I think it's better to be ready early. Thank you. Hashtag not sponsored, says Milky Drops, and I agree. Yesterday in Gaming says, yes, like you said, the culture around this is if you aren't pursuing the highest, most out of reach thing, then you're a failure. Can you speak to having more respect for practicality? Yes. And oh my gosh, you know, I forgot to put some of these super questions in in my list of questions and things that we talked about. Oh no. Sorry, everybody. This is going to be a not great YouTube description because I forgot to copy paste all these great thoughts and questions. All right, better next week. Room for improvement. But I will definitely copy what Yesterday in Gaming said. Give me a second to paste this into what will become the YouTube description. Okay. Sorry, reorganizing. And we've just got a few minutes left together. So if you've got any questions, get them in now. If for some reason they come in after the show has ended, I will catch them and hold them deep in my heart, and they will be among the first questions to be answered next week. Because we'll do this every Wednesday, even through the holidays. Okay, so Yesterday in Gaming said, can you speak to having more respect for practicality? Yes, and that's why I want to recommend my book as a holiday gift for people. I that's why part of the end of my book I talk about how to prepare for tough conversations during holidays. A lot of times we get together in holidays, and even when people are being practical, they're applying to jobs, they're updating their resume, they're trying to network, they're looking under every rock for a job. There might be someone at that holiday party or family get-together who treats them like you're not doing the right thing or you're not trying hard enough. And that's where we're really going to need that self-awareness and that strength and that sense of personal power to not let what that person says get absorbed into us. So I think practicality is the way to go. I think of myself as a very practical person, but at the same time, I was caught off guard for what's been going on in jobs in the last year or two. And now I feel like I'm seeing what's coming a little bit better and seeing it a little bit earlier than other people, but I was also surprised. Luckily, on the practical side, I was following a lot of typical advice. I was trying to network, and I'd gone to a lot of pre-pandemic. I'd gone to a lot of conferences. I'd built up a lot of connections. I've formed some communities, and hopefully you've all been networking with each other. I put a little money in the bank. I don't have a lot, but I have some. These are practical things. These and so I think we must respect practicality. And I think that when someone chooses practicality over non-practicality, respect that for sure. If you said to someone, hey, let's run to Vegas for the weekend. It'll cost us a few $100s and we'll have so much fun. And you might say, that does sound fun, but that's not money I want to spend right now. The economy is weird. The job market is weird. Why don't we just go out for a nice dinner? And instead of spending $500 on running to Vegas for the weekend, we'll spend $30 each on a good dinner. Maybe not the fanciest. You know what? That's practical. And you're not completely depriving yourself. You'll do something fun. I know if I could have any dinner right now, I would spend roughly $12 at hashtag not sponsored Winners Barbecue, everybody. It's in DeSoto, Texas, or near DeSoto, Texas. Super, super yum, family run. That would be where I would go. And every time I go there, I spend under $20, and it's my dream dinner. But I can't have their sauce because I'm allergic to it. But you don't need it. The food is so good, you don't need the sauce. You know what? You can do practical stuff. You can do crafts that are inexpensive. You can do creative things that are inexpensive. You can get a nice meal or cook a nice meal without spending wild money. There's so many things that you can do. And so I agree, more respect for practicality. Yeah, what a fun note to end on as well. So thank you for that, Yesterday in Gaming. So I hope to see everybody here next week. Note that this weekend, some of you are changing clocks. And last week, I changed clocks. So the time of this might be a little bit funky. So we do have an events calendar linked from lat.link. Take off the Q. Lifeaftertech.info is the full website. We have a resources page. There's an event calendar. You can always check. Also in our Discord community, which is completely free, we have an events channel, and that will we have a bot that's posting event reminders, and it's using the Discord timestamp, the Unix timestamp, so it'll always show up in your time zone and you can't get it wrong. I hope people will join our free Discord community because it's free. We've got about 150 people and it's slightly active, and I think when we get more people, it'll be more active. My goal is 1,000 people who want to be that phoenix. Whether you're staying in tech or not, we are all that phoenix. So, you know what? I think I will end of show us out of here and do our closing theme song. But just checking the calendar of what's coming up. We've got, Monday. Monday, we're going to be live streaming on this channel again. So LinkedIn and Twitch and the Your Life After Tech YouTube channel, because we're going to discuss the article I wrote a few days ago about which will be, or in my opinion, the last tech job standing. Who will be the last multi-corn to get a job? This is my opinion. I can't prove it. It's an opinion/prediction, but I'd love to turn it into a conversation. So I hope to see people here Monday. That's 8 p.m. Italy time. Of course, if you can't make any of these live streams, they're all archived on the Your Life After Tech YouTube channel. I couldn't get Life After Tech, so it is Your Life After Tech. All right, sorry, my nose has become itchy and I keep doing this. Don't read into it, as we talked about on yesterday's show. It is just itchy nose. Okay, thank you again, everybody, and thanks for putting up with my blips and weird internet. I will go reboot my internet right now. Did I miss a question? No. Okay, great. Excellent. Thank you again, everybody. Have a great rest of your day or night, and I hope to see you at the live stream on Monday. Bye.
It's whatever, and it's never. Is it better?